Alright, y'all, what's up? Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is out, if you got the early access at least. It's been out for like a day or two. I've been grinding like crazy. I think I got maybe 16, 17 hours already. I'm loving the game, and I'm gonna be giving my initial impressions. I want to clarify this isn't a full review, because I haven't played through the full game. This is just how I feel about the game at the moment. Obviously, I'm gonna be a little biased, so keep that in mind, because I've been excited for the game, and it's my initial impressions. I might be more positive than is actually fair for the game, but I'm gonna be giving the things I like about the game and the things I think could be better, the things I just straight up dislike. I plan on doing a full review, but that's not for right now. That's in like a week or two at least. Give me some time to marinate with the game and get comfortable with it. With all that being said, let's just get straight into it. I'm going to start with the positives, because it's realistically going to be the majority of the video. It's pretty much the entirety of the video. I don't really have a whole lot of bad stuff to say about the game, but we'll get into that later at the end of the video. Right off the bat, though, the gameplay is fire. It's really fucking good. It feels like Dragon Ball, and I think that's really important because normally I don't really like when people say that shit about games, but I think it's important here that the game feels like Dragon Ball. You feel like you're in a Dragon Ball fight. I like that. That's a good thing, absolutely. It's not like Xenoverse. It's not like Fighters. This is a Dragon Ball game, not a game that's Dragon Ball, if that makes any sense. I hope it does. Probably doesn't. But I'm just saying the combat is really nice. It feels like Dragon Ball. And that's the most important thing in this game, is it feels like Dragon Ball. If you're getting this game, you want to feel like Dragon Ball, right? It's also pretty easy to get into. I haven't played a Tenkaichi game probably in at least 8 to 10 years. Actually, probably closer to 15 years, now that I really think about it. It's been a really long fucking time. So you'd think that I'd just be horrible at the game. But I'm not. And I mean, I'm not gonna like glaze and say I'm the best player ever, but the point I'm trying to make is that it's pretty easy to get into. I feel like I've adapted to the game pretty quickly, and so I think for most people who maybe even haven't played a Tenkaichi game before, only really played maybe Xenoverse, maybe Fighters, I don't think you're gonna have a hard time getting into the game. Even if you haven't played a fighting game before, or like you barely play fighting games or something, because one of my friends doesn't really play fighting games. He's playing this game. He's not doing that bad. Granted, he's doing a little bit worse than me, because there's just some things about fighting games that's transferable knowledge. But I mean, even he's doing fine. You can have fun casually if you've never played a fighting game before. So if you've never played fighting games, or if you've played a shit ton of fighting games, I think this is a solid game to get, especially if you like Dragon Ball. I think it's a pretty safe bet, and that's pretty much the point I'm trying to make. I also want to touch on the characters real quick, because a big complaint some motherfuckers been having about the game is there's too many characters, there's not enough variety. Man, shut the fuck up. Respectfully, shut the fuck up. Okay? I seen that Gameology video. You know the one. Maybe you don't, but if you do, you know what I'm talking about. Bro, okay. Yes, there's a lot of fucking characters, and yes, the characters are not as varied as they would be in a typical fighting game, like Fighters or Street Fighter or Tekken. But this is not Fighters or Street Fighter or Tekken. This is Sparking Zero, bro. I think the characters have enough personality, enough flavor to feel unique enough. You know what I mean? There's incentive to be playing each individual character because, hey, Super Saiyan 4 Goku's fucking cool. Yeah, he plays pretty similar to UI Goku, but I want to play Super Saiyan 4 Goku because he's fucking cool. I want to play fucking Super Saiyan God Vegeta because he's fucking cool, because his supers look cool. I think that's reason enough, personally. There's also actual technical differences if you get into like competitive and shit, because there's the DP costs and also just the different blast skills. Because, you know, some characters are going to have better blast skills. Some characters have blast skills, which maybe I'm using the wrong term, but I'm talking about the shit on the D-pad that uses skill, the skill points. You have like 3 skill points, brings your fucking key all the way to full, and you can pop an ult. Or you have explosive waves, so you can get people off your back, and it works like pretty much like an evasive would in Xenoverse. You know what I mean? And there is enough differences. That's pretty much the point I'm making. There's enough differences. Also, characters just play a bit different. There's characters like Vegeta that can spam key blasts a lot more frequently. Characters like Master Roshi who can't fly, and that impacts their movement. You have, you know, Mr. Satan who's completely a joke character. Characters like Broly who are big and bulky and powerful and slow and shit and beefy. You have the giant characters who are just a completely different beast. You know what I mean? They're so much different to play, although they're very simple. And that's not really a criticism. That's kind of always been the case in the Tenkaichi games. But they are very simple and not really the most fluid to play. But they're different. And yeah, there is absolutely enough variety in my opinion for a game like this. If you're going into this game expecting every character to be as deep as a fucking Tekken character, you ain't got the right idea in mind. This is not the game for you. There's also a decent amount of modes to play in, like for just regular PvP. I know it was a great segue. I know, but you know, you got like world tournaments. You got just regular single matches, regular team matches. You got the DP matches, which are basically just you get $15 to make this team, pretty much, but in game. And yeah, all of it's pretty solid. It's pretty decent. Something I really have to fucking stress: the online is amazing, bro. The online is so fucking smooth. I've had a couple little stutters, and that's it. That is it. It is fucking insane, bro. Like, I'm sorry it took me this long to talk about the online, because it was my biggest worry that the game's online was gonna suck ass, but it's actually really fucking good. I know it's not, I guess it's not rollback netcode, but you wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even know. Wholeheartedly, this is one of the best online experiences I've had in an anime game, period. Dead fucking serious. And this is on day -3. Technically day 1. I'm technically day 3, but it's really day 1. But you get what I mean, right? It's an early access, quote unquote. And the servers are probably fucking getting blown the fuck up. And the game is this fucking smooth. Wholeheartedly, I've had like the amount of times that the game has stuttered, I can count on one hand. And it is so fucking smooth. It is so smooth. It just pauses for like a second and you're good. No crazy fucking hitting someone from a mile away like in Xenoverse. No crazy fucking lagging and shit. It's completely fucking smooth. It is incredible. It is incredible. It is incredible. And other anime games need to take fucking notes, because this genuinely should be the standard. But yeah, anyways, back to the modes. I really like the modes that we got. I do think there could have been a little bit more. You know, maybe just in terms of stages, I guess. Like, because there's a lot of tournaments that you don't have stages for, like Tournament of Destroyers. It would have been cool if we could have gotten those stages. But, you know, I think it's fine. And I like World Tournament. I think the World Tournament mode's cool. And I'll talk about it a little bit later, because I have a couple issues with it. But for the most part, it's really nice. I really like the World Tournament mode. Outside of the actual combat, I also really like the story mode. It's not super in-depth or nothing, but it's solid. It's pretty decent. I've seen people like complain it's not like the most in-depth thing in the world, but it's like, just go play Kakarot if you really want like a crazy cutscenes and all this shit. Go play Kakarot. The cutscenes in this game aren't crazy. There aren't really anything to write home about, but the main draw of them isn't really the cutscenes. A lot of it's the what if factor. You get a lot of like choices you can make and stuff, and I think some of them are pretty cool. I've seen a couple. One of them got leaked like fucking crazy, and I imagine a lot of y'all probably saw it. That sucks if you did, but there's shit like that in this game, and I think that's really cool. But a lot of the what if scenarios aren't that crazy. A lot of it's stuff like, oh, you beat Cell in the Cell games, so Gohan didn't have to step up. It's shit like that, and it leads to like a one-off thing. But there are a couple what ifs, like decisions you can make that actually branch off into their own path. But a lot of it's just like, oh, you beat Raditz before Piccolo used the special beam cannon, and that's fine. I'm just saying, it's not like the most crazy thing ever, but it's solid, and I think there's a decent amount of fun to be had about it. Although it's pretty fucking hard. If if you're just getting into these Tenkaichi games, I recommend playing the tutorial first and getting acclimated to the game before jumping into the story mode, because you're gonna get your shit fucking rocked. Especially on Grade 8 Vegeta. Lord knows you're gonna get shit on by Grade 8 Vegeta. That motherfucker is a spammer, and he's a fucking bum, bro. Holy shit, it took me like 30-40 minutes to beat Grade 8 Vegeta, and it was rough. Tangent aside, the story mode's solid. That's the point I'm making. It's a little difficult, but you can also get items to put on your character to like boost your stats. I never really used them, and I did fine. So they're not necessary, but they probably can help a decent amount if you're struggling. You could also lower the difficulty, but from what I know, what if scenarios aren't really able to be done in the lower difficulties. So like if you want to beat Raditz before Piccolo uses the special beam cannon, for example, you can't do that on a lower difficulty. Correct me if I'm wrong. Don't quote me on that. I might be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. Story mode's solid though. It's nothing crazy. I wouldn't buy the game if you're just gonna play the story mode, because it's not the draw of the game. It is not the main focal point of the game. There's also the custom battles, and the custom battles are pretty cool. I like them. I haven't really messed around with them too much, but I have played a couple, and they seem really in-depth. The editor is very in-depth. You can edit super duper detailed shit like, if you use an ultimate attack, Vegeta gets angry and turns Super Saiyan Blue, and you lose 55% of your health. Like, that's something you can do. And you can just fine-tune the shit out of it. You can make your own little cutscenes that play during the actual match or whatever. Like, it'll cut from the fight to like a little in-game cutscene thing. And it's really in-depth. I do have some gripes about it, and I'll get into that at the end of the video. But I think it's a really cool system, and I think it absolutely adds to the game. There's also a shop, and I like the shop. I think the shop's a neat addition, because there's a lot of unlockable stuff in the game, and it would have been kind of shitty, in my opinion, if you just had to get the Dragon Balls for it. I know in Tenkaichi, the older Tenkaichi games, you had to get the Dragon Balls for a lot of the stuff, I think, like characters and costumes and stages. That's not really the case here. Honestly, Dragon Balls are kind of useless in this game. They're good, but really the only thing you want to be wishing for with the Dragon Balls is Zenny. Pretty much, because you can buy basically everything with Zenny, and with a wish, you can, with Super Shenron, you can wish for Goku Black or Fused Zamasu. Or you can wish for like 1,000,000 Zenny, and they only cost 75,000 each. So it's like, why wouldn't you just wish for the Zenny? I don't know. I think that's kind of weird the way they formatted it. But I'm not complaining, because it's easy to unlock shit. It's not a super hard grind. Zenny's also super easy to get, regardless of if you wish for it or not. You get like 15k a battle in the story mode. So it's pretty easy to get. I'm also going to be talking a little bit about the unlockables at the end. Not that there's anything bad about them, it's just, well, you'll see. And I think I've pretty much touched on everything that's super positive about the game, so now I'm going to get into the negatives, starting with the custom battle stuff. This isn't like a super duper big deal. It's just something I think is a problem, and it's very easily fixable. It's just something that's an issue at the moment. And I imagine they will make it better as time goes on, but it is really fucking hard to find the right lines. Because when you're doing the cutscenes, you can put dialogue for like a character. You'll have like, Vegeta will be on screen and you want to give him dialogue. It is so fucking hard not only to find the names, because they put every fucking name in Dragon Ball history, bro. They just went to the wiki, looked at all, and just copy and pasted every single fucking character, put them in the fucking game for the character that you want to have the dialogue for. And it's like, damn, bro. I can't even find Vegeta because he's buried behind like 80 other dudes. You know what I mean? And there's not really an easy way to sort it. You can sort by, I think, characters, but it brings it down to like 200 names and shit. And also the lines of actual dialogue. I think there's supposed to be something like 5,000 lines. And there is not a super in-depth sorting system. So you're going to be sifting through looking for the right kind of line of dialogue, or you're just going to have to settle for something that's close enough to what you want. And I don't really like that because it limits the potential. Because I don't want to be sitting there for 30 minutes looking for the right line of dialogue because the sorting system kind of sucks ass. I mean, it's not like the worst thing in the world. I think they just need more in-depth filters and also just more filters in general. But I don't know. It's just a minor problem I have with the custom battles. Makes it kind of hard to make them. I also want to mention, I wish you could be able to force switching. So you actually can force character switching. I guess I just didn't see it, but it's on screen right now. That's that is it. So yeah, that's my bad. I'm gonna leave that in, but that's my bad. That's not true. Because that's something I wanted to do, was force your character to switch to a different character. And I don't think that's something you could do. Just a little like suggestion, not even really a nitpick or anything, just something I would have wanted. But yeah, I mean nothing crazy like I said, and that's pretty much the case with everything I have to say negative about the game. Is it's minor shit that could be fixed really easily. For example, like Jiren's transformation animation. That shit's kind of bad. I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't look that great.
This is everything.
It looks solid. It looks bad, but it looks solid because there's like a weird cut right when he transforms, and it looks jarring. I think they just need to like put a transition between the before and after kind of thing, because it almost just feels like they skipped a couple frames. I don't know if that'll be something that's like fixed in a day one patch or whatever, but I don't like it. It's kind of rough looking. There's a couple animations that could look a little better, but that's like the main one that I can think of. But yeah, now I'm gonna touch on the World Tournament mode because I did have a little gripe about it that I mentioned earlier, and I'm gonna get into that now. It's just hard to find fucking matches online because you can't invite people into public matches. So, like, I know I was trying to play with one of my friends earlier in a World Tournament match publicly, and we wanted to just join one because queuing up for one is fucking hard as hell. And it's not really a nitpick with the game because a lot of it's just the people. Like, you'll have someone join and then they just leave a second later for no fucking reason. I can't imagine that's a connectivity issue because I haven't had a whole lot of issues in that regard. So I would assume it's just the people, and it's really frustrating. But it's also really frustrating that if I join a public World Tournament match, I can't invite my friends. I don't like that. I think that's really weird. You should be able to invite people into a public match that they would already be able to join anyway if they searched for it. It's just less convenient though, but I don't know. It's also just a pain in the ass because sometimes it'll get like a connectivity issue. I noticed there was like 3 times in a row where it was like I'd try to join one and it would say there's a connection issue. I don't like that. I don't know what that is, like, at all. Maybe that's what I was talking about earlier, people joining for a second and leaving. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it looks like. I don't think so, but I don't know, right? It's also, like, I feel like there should be more information that you can see about the tournament match. like the settings, and at the very least, I think you should be able to see how many people there are. Because sometimes I would try to join one with my friend again, right? And it's like I would join it, but he wouldn't because there was only one slot left. It's like I wouldn't have attempted to join that if I'd only known there was one slot left. And the problem is, anytime you leave World Tournament mode, or you leave a World Tournament match, it kicks you back out to the starting menu. So it's like, well, shit. So now I gotta redo this whole animation again to search another match. It's just kind of frustrating, and I feel like it's a lot of small issues that build up to just it being a slightly frustrating experience. And I hope that stuff gets fixed. It might also be nice if you could search for specific rules for World Tournament mode, because to my knowledge, you're not able to do that. For example, like searching up out of bounds being turned on or being turned off, or maybe one that I really liked was having simultaneous matches or matches that are in order. That would be cool if you could search for that as a setting, because sometimes I don't want to be sitting there for half an hour just waiting for my next match. But sometimes I do want to spectate that match that someone else is having and then get to mine after. I think that's kind of cool, especially on the actual World Tournament stage, because that's how it works. You have like each match one by one or whatever, and everyone else is watching. It's part of the arcs. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You got like Goku and gang watching in the background while Yamcha's getting his shit kicked in the quarterfinals. Is part of the experience, and so I think it would be cool if you could search specific settings. But that's all I really got to say about the World Tournament mode. Small shit that's really not the most horrible thing in the world. It's just minor shit, minor nitpicks. But yeah, I also want to talk about the unlockables, and this isn't really a nitpick or a concern or anything, or like a negative. It's just kind of something that's a little disappointing to me, is the costumes. There's a lot of costumes. Like, don't get me wrong, there is. But there's some costumes that they just absolutely fucking missed on. There's no Badman Vegeta. There's no SAB coats for Goku and Vegeta from the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. You know what I mean? And I also just personally would really like to see costumes being available on all versions of a character. I don't know if that's a technical problem, like in development and stuff, that's something hard to do, but for example, having Yardrat Goku or the Yardrat outfit on every version of Goku. So you have Yardrat Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku. Or something like that. I think that would be cool. I don't know how difficult that would be. I don't imagine it would be difficult, because the only difference between the Goku models, from what I can tell, is just the heads. Uh, Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super Goku have different heads than early and mid, like with the hair shape being a little different. Obviously, it's a little different with like Kid Goku or GT Goku, because those are different model sizes. But I'm talking about the ones that are the same sizes, like, you know, so basically early, mid, and super, and Ultra Instinct. I wish all of those would be able to share costumes. I think it would just be nice. It'd be cool. I think it would also help with the like custom battle stuff, because then you could have like weird custom scenarios where for some reason like Yardrat Goku comes down to Earth and he goes Super Saiyan 2 or something. I don't fucking know, right? But like you could have shit like that happen. I think that'd be cool. Not really a big deal, just something that's a little bit disappointing, and I figured I'd talk about it in this section. Also, obviously, I think post-game, there's a pretty solid chance we'll be getting more costumes, whether it be through DLC or free updates, or alongside DLC, like in packs. I don't know. I don't know, right? But like, I think it's fine. It's fine, and it's definitely not like a big deal. Just a small nitpick. And that's pretty much the crux of this video, is that there really isn't a whole lot wrong with this game. Pretty much everything bad I can say about this game is either shit that can be fixed in a day one patch, and would probably be fixed within a week of the game coming out, or it's stuff that's so minor that just it doesn't really affect the game. Even if this stuff doesn't get fixed, it's still probably my game of the year personally, Granted, I'm biased. I'm a Dragon Ball fan, and I've been waiting for this game for fucking ever, just like a lot of y'all have been. But regardless, it is my game of the year personally. So this small shit does not matter. This negative stuff does not matter, and that's really what I'm trying to say. I love this game. I think this game's great. If you haven't gotten it and you're a Dragon Ball fan, you should probably get it. I think it'll be a pretty safe purchase. And yeah, there's not a whole lot of negatives I can say about this game. I will be doing a full in-depth review most likely, but I want to play through the whole story mode, get better on the mechanics, get better like ranked and stuff, just so that way I can actually speak on these things better, because I can't really talk about the in-depth mechanics, talk about how deep the gameplay is, if I'm kind of ass at the game. I gotta get better, I gotta get good, you know? I also just want to unlock all the characters and just completely, you know, experience the full game, basically. But then after that, yeah, I'll probably do a review. You can expect that on my channel. So if you liked this video and you want to see a full review, shit, man, you're gonna have to subscribe or just keep tabs on the channel. If you liked this video, give it a like. Let me know what y'all thought in the comments. Maybe I missed something or you got any questions about the game. If you got any questions or anything like that, let me know in the comments. I'll try to answer them. But with all that being said, this has been my initial impressions of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, and I'll catch y'all later.